Thank you for tuning in to TTV. I'm your host, Toya, and today is Freedom Friday. Okay. And so part of Freedom Friday is really letting go of things that bother you, things that we tend to hold on to, especially those negative emotions and the things that we feel bad about, which is kind of why I wanted to do this video because we set these goals, we set these intentions for ourselves, and when we don't meet them, we feel really bad and we beat ourselves up over them. We sit back and we get really negative with ourselves over it. And so I just really wanted to share some things with you as far as like my journey goes. To tell you some of the things that I've fallen off of. Well, one main thing that I have a consistent, I consistently go back and forth with in my journey. And that has to deal with my diet. Okay. So everybody in this world should already know. I'm not going to say everybody, but we'll say 90% of everybody in this world, especially those of us who are overweight, know what to do in order to release the weight. We all know what to do. Okay, we know what it is we should be eating, what we shouldn't be eating. The problem with that is sometimes it's really easy for some people to really just go cold turkey on stuff. Other people, it takes some going back and forth, and it's just not easy for them to do cold turkey, so they have to, do progress. Okay? And when it comes to doing those things where we have to go and do progress, some people are really good at it, some people are really bad at it. You go back and forth, you on track, off track, on the wagon, off the wagon, like it's just like a merry-go-round. And we tend to beat ourselves up a lot when that happens. And that's really why I wanted to do this video. I want people to stop beating themselves up for it. Because we go on this journey called life and we sit back and we look at all the things that didn't go the way we wanted, that didn't go how we wanted. We set these goals, and when we don't meet them, we feel like the whole world is ended and fell apart. And the truth of it is if you were to go back and look over the progress of that time, you will see how you are better. And so I'm going to use myself as an example. So if I were to go back 10 years ago, I weighed probably about 45 pounds more. I was eating things that I am no longer eating. So although my journey is not where I want it to be, although my journey is not placing me and I'm not in a position that I am striving to get to or striving to be in, I am better than where I was. And so sometimes we have to stop and acknowledge the fact of our own growth and how we have progressed in life. So I've been on this journey to removing the dairy out of my life, to removing meat out of my life, and to really doing a vegan lifestyle. Not to the point where I never have anything or I want to restrict myself to the point where it gets neurotic. Like if I go to a restaurant and there are no options and everything has cheese and I have to get up and leave, or sit there and torture myself. So instead of doing that, then fine, I'll just eat the cheese, and I'll deal with it on the back end. But one of the things that I had to stop and take a time and notice about, because I found myself beating myself up for not meeting my goals right now, and I had to stop because one, I'm doing so much right now behind the scenes, y'all. So much in my life going on and things that I'm doing that you don't know about. In addition to these videos, in addition to working out through trauma, in addition to the foods I eat, like I'm working on a lot of different areas in my life. And so I found that there were days in my diet to where I wasn't doing the best. And most of the time it's the day I do the video. So most Mondays I don't eat well. And instead of me beating myself up for it, instead of me hating myself for it, instead of me having all these negative emotions surrounding it, I wanted to stop and start really looking at it differently. So if I know Monday is going to be a long day, then one, I can set myself up. If I don't have the opportunity to set myself up, then I let it go, knowing that this is how this day is going to go. That's just what I do. And so I find it brings me a lot of peace. And if I go back and I look, like every time I go at this, every time I try this, every time I do a cleanse and come out of the cleanse, there are things that I let go. So when I first did it, the first thing I let go of like 15, 20 years ago, I don't remember how long ago, probably about, 2007 was how long ago? Okay, that was like 20 something years ago. 26 years ago. Oh my God, I'm showing my age. Like it really doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Oh my God. So if 2007 was 26 years ago, and I know that because, to be 21 now and get liquor, you have to be born in 2001. That's how I figured it out so quick, y'all. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. But anyway, so if that was 26 years ago, then I would say it was probably about 22 years ago that this whole journey started with me with herbs, and started with me with watching what I eat and cleansing, and all that stuff started that long ago. And through that journey, there are certain things that every time I did a detox, every time I tried going at this, there were things that I let go of and never came back to. So, for one, is the bacon, sausage, and pork, and all of that. I eventually got to the point where I don't eat that. So, I no longer have it. At least not willingly. Sometimes I still end up with it because it was in something and I didn't know it was in it, or I found out, like, this one restaurant, because I don't want to be the one to get shot down for saying it out loud and people didn't know it. But there's a restaurant that uses puts bacon grease on their baked potatoes. So there are times like that where it was unavoidable, or something I wasn't aware of. And if those are the cases, then I don't really count that. But for me to actually cook it, I let go of bacon. I let go of pork chops. I let go of the breakfast sausage and all of that pork. There are other things that I let go of over the years as well, like pop. I don't drink any pop at all. Even to the point, like the last year or so, I want to say probably about the last year, I let go of kombucha. I was the one that got other people hooked on kombucha, okay? Because I was drinking it so much because it was a pop substitute for me. But then I started having the same reactions to the kombucha as I did to pop. And so I end up letting that go. I let go of tap water. I used to think tap water was just fine. And then I learned more. Now I don't, yeah. Unless I have absolutely no choice, I'm not drinking it. There have been times when I was at work and I would forget my water. When I tell y'all, I would just go through the day thirsty as hell because I'm not drinking that tap water. that's just what happened. Like, I'm not drinking it. So I'm saying all of this not to boast myself up or not to make you feel bad about choices that you still making, but to really get you to understand that sometimes you have to put a pause on it. Instead of feeling bad about where you are and the fact that you're not where you're trying to get to or where your goal is, look back and see where you used to be. You're not the same person you were 10 years ago. You're not doing the same things you did 10 years ago. You're still on a journey. And as long as you are progressing and moving forward and things are getting better, even if it's at a slow pace, as long as it's getting better. So let's say cigarettes. You are a cigarette smoker and you're trying to give it up, but you can't do it cold turkey. Do you smoke as many packs as you did before? Maybe you were a two or three pack a day smoker and now you're down to 1 pack a day. Maybe you did 7 cigarettes in the day and now you're down to 5. Celebrate those wins, acknowledge those wins, hold on to the emotion of those wins, and really sit and meditate in it, really sit and ponder it, really sit with that and really understand that you are progressing, you are moving forward. Even if it's at a snail's pace, you're still moving forward. And as long as you're moving forward, you're doing okay. It's really not that bad. And so we have to learn to let some things go and just be okay with it. You don't have to be picture perfect every single time. You don't have to follow the rules. Not follow the rules, but meet your goals every single time. As long as you're still progressing towards it, as long as you're still moving towards it, then you're still doing good. And you just keep at it and just keep at it and keep at it until you get to where you're trying to go. So that's my message for today. If you got anything out of it, please like, subscribe, and share, because if you got something out of this, that means chances are someone else will as well. And leave a comment below. Tell me what you think. What is it you've been struggling with? Have you stopped and taken a look back and see where you were and see where you are now? So leave that comment below and let me know. I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow.